Hi, Brett Thornhill here again from Brett Thornhill ADHD Coaching. You know, as I began the process of making these short videos, it occurred to me that maybe I should use at least one of them to tell you a little bit more about myself, who I am, and what led me to reboot my life after a 20-year career in marketing to become a certified ADHD coach. Well, it all started about 6 years ago. I had reached a point in my life where I kind of knew something had to change. At the time, I had just received a new job with more responsibility. I had a great family, lots of friends, but for some reason I still always seemed to feel very restless and discontent. Matter of fact, I felt often quite overwhelmed. And even though I did a great job of hiding it from people, I knew something had to be done to address it. So I started seeing a counselor through my employer's EAP program. A few months into counseling, for what I assumed at the time was anxiety and mild depression, my counselor, bless her wonderful soul, suggested that maybe I should consider being assessed for ADHD. Well, at the time, I knew very little about ADHD, and what I did know, I now realize, was mostly entirely made up of myths and misconceptions. ADHD was rowdy kids, bouncing off the walls, not too bright. People who were always getting into trouble and had the attention span of a flea. Of course, none of that was true, and I'm going to get into a lot of those myths and misconceptions in future episodes. So to cut to the chase, a few months later, I underwent the assessment, and the diagnosis was confirmed. I did indeed have ADHD. Now, I'd love to tell you that everything changed right then and there, but that wasn't quite the fact. It wasn't quite that simple. What followed in the following weeks and months was a series of emotional up and downs, from extreme relief right after the diagnosis to episodes of denial, uncertainty, regret, and even bouts of anger and despair. Of course, now I understand that those responses were actually quite normal for someone receiving an ADHD diagnosis, especially as an adult. When I think back on it now, I think I realize that I was actually mourning at the time, mourning the person that I thought I could have become, if only I had known about my ADHD earlier. But then I got tired. I got tired of the self-pity. I got tired of living in the past. And that was a turning point. I decided that instead of living with regret, I was going to use this new insight that I gained about myself as a way to reinvent and move forward with my life. Because you see, the more I learned about ADHD, the more I found out that along with some challenges, and believe me, there are definitely challenges, my ADHD had also provided me with traits and strengths that I'd spent most of my life taking for granted. Divergent thinking, the ability to hyper-focus on things that really interested me, a pretty powerful intuition sense, and deep passion for the things that really mattered to me. And even a creative sense that, even though I didn't appreciate it at the time, had managed to find its way into nearly every aspect of my life. So I decided to use this newfound insight as a springboard, to look at my ADHD as a difference instead of a disadvantage, and to learn how to embrace and appreciate that difference as a way to figure out the changes I need to make to lose this sense of restlessness and discontentment that I had kind of become so used to. So that was about 6 years ago, and the changes I've made in my life, they haven't happened overnight. It's taken time, and believe me, none of the changes could have occurred without some amazing support from family, friends, and a few rough patches and uncertainty along the way as well. But the changes have happened, and in fact, they're still happening. And while now I recognize probably more than ever the things in my life that cause me to struggle and the things for which I require support, I've also learned how to recognize and focus more energy on my strengths. So what is it exactly that's changed? Well, for the most part, nothing more than my own beliefs and assumptions about who I am and what I'm capable of. And that's what's made the difference. Look, we all have strengths and we all experience struggles and challenges. But finding ways to reframe our thinking so that we place our emphasis on our passions and our natural abilities, that's what leads to positive change. So, is my ADHD a gift? No, that's going too far. But was getting the diagnosis a gift? Absolutely. However, it was still merely a catalyst that inspired me to better understand, accept, and learn how to embrace my life and my ADHD. Because change is a process. It's not an event. I want to thank you again for watching and ask you to please visit my website, embraceyouradhd.ca, where you can leave me comments or you can book your own 30-minute telephone consultation. You can also see how to find me on Facebook and Twitter right at the end of this video. So until next time, cheers.